Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are obviously excited to have you here today. The first Wednesday in February is a very special moment for institutions that are within the NCAA as it relates to signing day. It is the lifeblood of all of our institutions. It's called recruiting. And with the signing day, we have many individuals that have committed to come to South Dakota School of Mines and Technology for their academic careers. So for us, it's a critical day. A lot of hard work, months and months of telephone calls, plane rides, visits, home visits, cruddy meals while you're trying to find a place that doesn't even exist on your GPS. All of those types of things go into making signing day such an important day for our coaches. It's not just one sport, it's several sports. But to lead off the start of talking about what we have, I'd like to introduce our head football coach, Stacy Collins, who, according to him about 2 hours ago, was extremely excited about what's occurred today, and he'd like to share some of those information with you. Stacy?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who showed up here today. It is a phenomenal day. This is a culmination of a ton of work by a lot of people. I'm very, very impressed with this class. It really exemplifies the traits that we're looking for in a student athlete, and that's a student first. All these young men fit the mission of our university. They're excellent students in the classroom, and the great thing is they're also great students, or great players on the football field. I'd like to start by thanking a few people. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Hertzer and the administration for their amazing support. You know, emotionally, their help on campus, and certainly the financial piece that allows us to go out and recruit nationally and to bring these student athletes here on Rapid City, to Rapid City. I'd like to thank our athletic administration, Dr. Kaiser, everybody that works in that piece. Obviously, Anita, who does all the behind-the-scenes works and makes sure I stay on budget. If not, she slaps me upside the head a little bit. One person that probably goes unnoticed and probably does more work than anybody is Jen Ranham. Jen did a phenomenal job of making sure we had everything in place today. And those of you who don't understand what goes on with the behind-the-scenes paperwork of the NCAA, it is unbelievable. And Jen did a phenomenal job. So everybody give Jen a round of applause. I would like to thank our admissions staff. I think one of the biggest advantages we have here on campus is when we bring young men and their families onto campus is our admission staff. They take the time on a Saturday afternoon away from their work schedule to come out. That starts out with Dr. Gunn and Molly Frankel, the director of admissions, and their staff. But that really gives us the extra edge. It helps us out enormously in allowing us to add the personal touch to the recruiting trip for these young men. And I certainly know it made a difference in these 29 signees when they're on campus. Just a tremendous job. They do unbelievable work when they're in a one-on-one setting with our student athletes, and I appreciate everything Dr. Gunn and your staff do, because it's phenomenal on that piece. I would also like to thank some of our large boosters, George and Nancy Dunham. The financial contribution that they give to us allows us to do some extra things in recruiting that we couldn't do. We would not be able to hit the places that we're at without their extra contribution, allow us to recruit the way we need to recruit here to bring in the quality student athletes that we were able to get in this signing class. And with that, I would like to make sure I thank Tom and Steve and the whole Hard Rock Club, because really the only reason we're able to compete at the Division II level, to offer the scholarship money that's available at this university, is directly from the Hard Rock Club. They raise all our scholarship money, and they do a tremendous job. I've worked at 7 different institutions, 4 of them Division II institutions, and what they do in raising scholarship money without any state help, it's a unique state that way, is unbelievable. And it gives us the opportunity to compete and recruit quality student athletes to this institution. Going along with our admission staff, I would also like to thank all of our professors, and there's a long list of them, and we'll get a chance to thank them later at the signing day party down at Pauley's. But the admission staff, the professors as well as our admission staff, they take their Saturdays off. They allow that one-on-one time. The deans of most of our disciplines are there. They have a chance to meet with our players and our prospective student athletes one-on-one. And again, I'd like to thank all of those professors that helped during that time. I got to thank my coaches. I have a phenomenal coaching staff. And really, when we talk about putting a class together, the work that goes in it it's a lot of hours. And my coaching staff is top notch. I've had the ability to work the 2 different Division I programs. I would take these guys at any one of them. Gary Hyman, my recruiting coordinator, I've said it a million times. He's the most functional ADD guy I've ever met. And when it comes to the recruiting piece of it, it is phenomenal. But Gary did a tremendous amount of work since he was hired here late last spring. Was instrumental in putting this class together. But the work and really the guys who are doing all the behind-the-scenes work is my assistant coaching staff, and they did a phenomenal job. With that, I'd like to thank their coaches and families because it is a lot of time away from home. These guys are on the road for stretches of 2 to 3 weeks at a time. They're away from home. The weekends, 3-4 weekends in a row when we bring recruits in, it starts Friday in the afternoon, and it's not done until Sunday evening. So I would certainly like to make sure that everybody understands the time that their families put in. And the last group I'd like to thank is our players. They work as student hosts here. They're really our biggest advocate because when you're dealing with a 17 or 18-year-old man, they will listen to us to some degree. Our admissions and faculty do a phenomenal job, but our players are best advocates. And we have a phenomenal product here to sell, and our guys do a great job of making sure these guys come in and understand what being part of the Hardrocker family is all about. With that being said, I would like to introduce our 2013 recruiting class. We brought in 7 mid-year transfers. 5 of them were from junior colleges or 4-year colleges. 2 of them were high school players. Our first mid-year transfer was a local young man right here, Seth Johnson. He went to Rapid City Stevens High School. Out of high school, he went directly to Idaho State University. So we're able to get Seth back. He's a running back for us. He's been on campus here for the last month. He's a great transfer in the need. We lost Jamel Rover, who was another transfer from Idaho State University, and really hoping that Seth can fit into that role, be the guy that we can give the football to a lot. My number one goal when I took this job was to do the best job we can, not only recruiting locally in the Black Hills, but throughout the state of South Dakota. So picking up Seth has been a great addition. He's done a great job in the weight room and our winter conditioning. One of the needs that we really tried to target with our mid-year transfers and with our transfer piece was a linebacker position. We lost a senior in Jonathan Tristeo. We had another one of our players injured, Kyan Karate Kelly, for the season last year. So we picked up 2 transfer linebackers. One of them is Justin Lada. And Justin comes to us. He's originally from Long Beach, California. He came to us from American River College. Justin's going to give us versatility in the middle of our defense. He's an explosive player. Very excited to have Justin here on campus. The other area that we tried to target real hard with our mid-year transfers was our offensive line. Jordan Christensen's from Pima College in not Yuma, Arizona, but Pima, Arizona. During our bye week, we had the ability to go out and do some recruiting on the road. 3 of us coaches, we made a hard push in Arizona. There's no Division II football in the state of Arizona, and I was able to watch Jordan play in a game against Glendale Community College. Really realized what type of player he was. Very physical at the point of attack, was a leader, was making all their offensive line adjustments out there. Jordan's been on campus again for about a month now, and he really gives us a physical presence inside. We lost Brian Freed at one of the offensive line positions. Jordan's more of a guard type, but we're excited to have Jordan here on campus. Lucas Reby is a pretty unique story. Lucas is originally from Florida, was at Catawba, Division II program out in North Carolina. So this is one of those I get a random phone call from a Florida number, pick up, and it's a young man looking to transfer to somewhere that has a chemical engineering program. Well, he'd done his research. He'd realized that we were one of the top ones. We battled a couple other Division II programs that offered similar degrees. But at the end of the day, after Lucas came out here, he realized this was clearly his best fit. He is a tremendous student, a 4.0 student coming into our university. If you look at he was a redshirt freshman this year at Catawba. If you look at his transcript, it is unbelievable. It is a chemical engineering dean's dream. All right, it's 4.0 across the board, and it's every calculus, chemistry, biology class you can see. And Lucas has done a great job here in the month that we've had him. Reese Buckles is another transfer lineman for us. He's going to major in industrial engineering. Reese comes to us from Santa Ana Junior College, and we talked about the loss of Brian Freed at that left tackle position. We're real excited to get Reese because he can play left tackle for us. He's played left tackle, he's played inside, but he gives us versatility. He's got great feet. It was a dogfight to get Reese. We got in a good battle with a couple of Division II programs, but Dr. Kirk did a phenomenal job with him on his visit here. Very, very impressed with the industrial engineering piece, and Reese will be a big-time addition to our program. Yeah, we had two high school guys join us during the semester piece. Jason Churns from Hamilton High School in Arizona. Jason almost joined us at the beginning of this year. You know, last year at this time, signing date, me and Coach Tink were the only two guys on my staff that were here during signing date, and it was a long recruiting process for us. So Jason just wasn't quite ready to do it. We got on him late, got him on him in the summer, but he joined us at mid-year. He'll play the outside linebacker position for us. He's from Hamilton High School in Arizona, which down in that area is one of the top schools in the state, and we're very excited to have Jason here on campus. The other player that joined us is Trevor, and I'm going to probably butcher Trevor's last name, but Trevor Simonsma, he's from Roosevelt High School. We recruited Trevor extremely hard last year, and Trevor was actually in school here. I had him in my flag football class, so maybe I recruited him twice. I'm not sure. I have to check on that, Jen. But we recruited Trevor really hard last year, and we got him back in, and we're excited to have Trevor. He's going to play that offensive tackle position for us, and it was really a piece that we were missing from our 2012 recruiting class. Very solid student. It's always nice to get a Sioux Falls player over here, East River player onto campus, and so we're excited to have Trevor in our program. All right, our 2013 high school players here, and we'll have a few junior colleges. These are the guys that will join us in the fall. The first one is a young man named Jeremy Bell. Jeremy's got a unique situation. He's actually the cousin of Jordan Bell. So if that name sounds familiar, Jordan Bell is a starting safety from us, was a freshman who was named our defensive back of the year this year. And so Jeremy is an outside linebacker. He's from Fort Bend Travis High School out in Texas, and we're excited to have Jeremy join us here. He was at North Texas, did not play football there, so he was been out 1 year, but we're excited to get Jeremy back here and to play that outside linebacker position. Kevin Thompson. Kevin joins us. He's from Lakes High School in Lakewood, Washington. It's a high school I recruited a lot when I was at Central Washington University, one of my previous stops. Kevin's an industrial engineering major. He's Baby Ja. So if you guys know who Ja Rover is, he probably looks Ja eye to eye. He might actually look up to Ja just a hair. But he's got legitimate speed. He's a 10-800 kid in track. Will probably be a dual sport athlete for us. He was in this last weekend, and we're extremely excited to have Kevin coming to us this fall. Patrick Medina. Now, you guys hear these signing day stories, all right? And you hear about getting guys at the last minute. We got Patrick's letter across, I don't know, Jen, what, hour and a half ago? 2 hours ago? So this was a pretty exciting one. You always want to make sure you handle that quarterback position first. Patrick had several Division I offers earlier in the year. He had a knee injury, and those backed off. So Patrick tripped us this weekend. It was a fight to the end, but when his letter came across this afternoon, he is a big-time quarterback. He's not only a great, accurate passer, he can run with the football. Tremendous student, going to major in electrical engineering here, and picking up Patrick here today in the last minute was a big-time get for us. Jack Peru. Jack, he might win the best hair award with everybody out there. But Jack reminds me a lot of Josh Thomas, a corner who played for us as a true freshman this year. Not a real big kid, but extremely explosive. Was a high school quarterback, and we really like recruiting high school quarterbacks for a couple reasons. Number one, they're usually the best athlete on the field. Number two, they're usually pretty intelligent young man, which Jack is. And he's going to play defensive back for us. I really believe he's going to be in that Josh Thomas mold. Extremely explosive young man. Devin Frawling. Devin is a big offensive lineman. He's from Britain, Hecla High School in South Dakota. Devin came out and watched one of our games. It was our Missouri S&T game, correct, Coach Hyman? And it was cold out there for you guys that were out there. So I knew he wanted to come here real bad after he came and visited us for that game. But he had engineering on his mind from the start. He's a huge young man. He's going to play our offensive tackle position, and we're excited to get another in-state player on campus with Devin. The other thing is his parents own a sausage company, so we might need to get that going in Rockerville, Tom, crank it up a little bit. Michael Harlan. Michael is an outside linebacker. He's from Pinnacle High School in Arizona. Huge size potential on Michael. When you look at him, I think we measured him in at about 6'2", 215. He's got a chance to get a lot bigger. A versatile player for us that can rush the edge, can drop into coverage. And so Michael's a real good pickup for us on the defensive side. Dylan Kazma. Dylan Kazma is a defensive lineman. He's from Brandon Valley High School, who played in the state championship game this year. So again, anytime we're able to keep local talent at home, we certainly are trying to do that. Dylan's got good size potential. We always want to try to recruit a handful of inside defensive linemen, and the fact that he's on a state championship team and a winning team really excites us for the future. Leo Sanchez, all right? Leo's he's a funny guy. We lose in this weekend. He had a Kermit the Frog hat on when he got off the plane, and but Leo's got a great personality. He's a big linebacker, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking to make sure that as we run our 3-4 scheme that we continue to get big linebackers. He height weighted about 6'2", 236 for us. He's got huge size potential. He's one of the 4 Texas kids that we signed, and we're excited about what he can do at that inside linebacker position. Connor Carey. Connor's from Sterling High School. His brother actually was part of the football program when I got here, so the family was very, very familiar with what was going on here. And that was the biggest recruiting tool with Connor. His brother no longer participates in football, still goes to school here, but when they started looking around and they tripped a handful of other schools, and when they came back and I met with them for the final time this weekend, they really realized that hands down this is the best educational opportunity out there. So we're excited to get Connor back. He's a big outside receiver, and as you look at our class, we're trying to get bigger on the outside at receiver position, and Connor certainly fits that bill. Cody Crater, okay. Cody's an interesting one. I'm the special teams coordinator, so this was a big get for me. But Cody is the 6th rated long snapper in the nation. All right, outside of special teams coordinator, that may not be that big of a deal for me. That is absolutely huge. Okay, what is interesting about Cody is he's a geology major, but he is into paleontology. So some guys, they want to walk out of Penn State Stadium or the University of Miami in front of 8,000. When I walked him into our paleontology research center, his eyes were about that big, and that sealed the deal. So it was an awesome deal. We're excited to have Cody here. He can step in and be a big-time long snapper for us right away. Marshall Brownfield. Marshall's out of Flagstaff High School in Arizona, which is actually right where Northern Arizona University is. Great kid. He'll play the running back position for us. He took a peek around at the other engineering institutions, and again, anytime you have NAU in your backyard, but we're extremely excited about having Marshall here. He reminds me of Chris Soddy. Very physical, tough kid, great balance. You know he's going to work his tail off for you, and we're excited to have Marshall here. Taylor Buss. Taylor's a Stevens graduate, a local kid, and that's a great get for us. Like I told you before, we want to make sure we handle our backyard. But Taylor did a great job all year. We got a chance to know Taylor. He came to our summer camps. He was very active. He came to one of our games, and at the end of the day, Taylor had some other options, but staying home, Coach Hyman did a great job creating a relationship for him. He will play our slot receiver position. Just a great young man, and we're extremely excited to have another Rapid City player here on campus. Andrew Robbins fits that mold of the big outside receivers that we talk about. He was actually a high school quarterback. His dad is a high school football coach. His grandfather used to be the head football coach at the University of Montana a while back. So he's certainly got a football background. 4.0 student, extremely intelligent, very athletic, and I think he's going to project well at our outside receiver position. Dominic Taliulu, everybody calls him Nico. Nico's from Ventura College. He'll be an environmental engineering major for us. We're extremely excited to have Nico here on campus. Nico's going to bring a little bit more to that offensive line that we talked about. We ran into a jam last year with only having one center, and he got hurt in our North Dakota game, and that really affected our next 2 football games. So the ability to have Nico here on campus and add some more to our offensive line is going to be nice. And it's nice to get a little bit of a Polynesian connection. We got a few Polynesian guys running around here. We're going to have to get a Hawaiian club and a luau going here at some point. But they had a great personality and really give us a wide range of people on our football team. Bryce Koloff. Bryce is from O'Gorman High School in Sioux Falls, and that was a good get for us. Bryce was another one similar to Devin that had been here a lot, really wanted to be at our place. Anytime we can get a Sioux Falls guy like I talked about, especially from a great school like O'Gorman, but he's a big defensive end, and you'll see we like long bodies, guys that can rush the passer. He's about 6'4", 215 right now. He'll get a lot bigger, and he's got a great future here as a Hardrocker. Sam Vollmer. Sam's a tight end out of Texas, out of Houston, Texas, and we're really excited to get Sam. It's hard to recruit the tight end position. And the nice thing about Sam is he can do a couple different things. He's able to play the point tight end, which means he's physical enough to put his hand on the ground and get out and block some people, but he's also athletic enough to run routes. Usually it's one or the other. You can find a guy who can put his hand on the ground and block, but he can't run a route. Or you can find a guy that has no problem running a route, but he won't block anybody. And the nice thing about Sam, he gives us balance with that. He's a tremendous student, and we're really fired up to have Sam here this fall. Zach Huber. Zach Huber is also a two-sport athlete. He will probably compete in track for us here. Zach is more of a slot receiver. We signed a kid last year named Coley Volmar out in Natrona County in Wyoming. Zach's out of Green River, kind of in that same mold. Very athletic kid, inside receiver, and he'll do a real nice job in what we try to do with that package. There you go, Dr. Gunn. Here's your favorite right here, all right? Dr. Gunn doesn't tell me we need to get somebody very often, but he met with Carson Pertell, and after his meeting, he grabbed me and said, Stace, we got to get this kid. So Carson's a tremendous young man. He is a big young man, and he was fired up about what we have to offer here. He's so fired up, his family is going to move all the way up here to Rapid City this July. So the whole Pertell family will be coming up, and his dad's a phenomenal chef. I can attest to that in the home visit. But great young man. He's going to be part of our ROTC program probably. A tremendous student athlete. Big kid, only going to get bigger. He weighs 290 and holds it like he's about 250. So we're extremely excited to have Carson here and the whole Pertell family as they move on up. Brandon Pierce, we were looking to add some speed to our receiving core also, and we certainly did that with Brandon. Brandon's out of Pearland, Texas. He can play both an inside or an outside receiver for us, but he's a guy that, in offensive terms can take the top off of coverage, gives us some juice on the inside or the outside, and really gives us some added speed that we will need. Josh Harper. Josh is another one of our big outside receivers we really made a hard push for. Josh is from Marist High School in Oregon, a private Catholic school in Eugene, Oregon. I had a chance to go watch Josh play basketball one night. He's going to try to go out work with our hoops team also and Coach Henry. But Josh is big, athletic. He also plays DN, so it's nice to see the physicalness on that. I think his upside's huge. He's a tremendous target on the outside and a smooth hoops player too. And so we're very excited to have Josh here. Bryce Mann is another offensive lineman that we added. Bryce is from the Sacramento area. Big kid. We may have to get another helmet because this kid's head's so big on that piece. So Coach Ack will put you on that and get you going. But Bryce was in this weekend. He committed to us on the spot. And we always want to make sure that we handle the offensive line position the best we can. And I think Bryce can have a great future here. Last guy is Amir Salih. Amir's a junior college transfer from LA Valley College. He's going to major in electrical engineering for us. He's a big-time speed rush DN, and we're excited to have Amir. Anytime you can have a speed rush DN, puts pressure on the quarterback. He's athletic enough to drop into coverage for us. He adds a different dimension for us on the defensive side. And then the last thing, I know Brad put a press release out on our 2013 schedule, but we've got 10 games set for our 2013 schedule, and we're extremely excited about that. Of the 10, we have 7 Division II football games. We play 3 NAIA games. We open up September 7th at Colorado Mines. Then we have the battle for the home stake trophy here at home on September 14th, our first home game. M-Day will be the next week against Jamestown College on September 21st. We get to head down to William Jewell on September 28th and just outside of Kansas City, another Division II opponent. We play home against Valley City State and then Missouri Southern, which is in the MIAA Conference Division II. Have a unique opportunity on October 9th. We go down and we play Tiffin University, Division II program in Ohio. We will play them at Drake Stadium. We both needed a game. It's about a 16-hour, 17-hour drive for both of us. Me and Coach Goff got on the phone. We said, you know what, Drake University is about 8 to 9 hours away for both of us. We both need a game, and so it's going to be a neutral site game, and we're excited to make sure we're playing another Division II opponent. Then we'll come home for our final home game, Senior Day against Dakota State, and we'll go on the road, play 2 more Division II opponents in the MIAA Conference, Fort Hays State in Kansas, Nebraska Kearney in Nebraska. We do have an open date on November 16th. That's something that, I think if the right opportunity came, we would look to fill, but we feel very, very good about our 2013 schedule. 10 games, 7 of them in Division II. And I really want to thank Dr. Kaiser for all his help making sure we can get this thing through, because Division II independent scheduling is a challenge, and to be able to have this schedule is a great step forward for our program. Any questions that I can answer for anybody on our recruiting class, on our schedule, anything about the recruiting process in general?
Overall, Coach Collins, what were your goals in filling gaps that you felt like you had to fill?
The first goal was to get more physical, period. And we really tried to address that with our mid-year transfers. Taking Jordan Christensen and Reese Buckles at mid-year, I think really solidified adding some physicalness and athletic ability to our offensive line. And the same thing with the two transfer linebackers we took, Justin Lada and Lucas Reeby. Both those guys immediately make us more physical in the ability to run the game and the ability to stop the run. So those are the two areas we immediately wanted to attack.
Out of the 29 games you have here, are you planning tell us now how many do you think will make an immediate impact?
You know, when we bring a transfer in here, and we have 7 transfers that were brought in, we're expecting an immediate impact from them. With that being said, with our freshmen, our best players are going to play. And when I sit down with them and their folks on a recruiting trip, it's hard to tell. Until we have them on our field doing our drills, how quick do they pick up our systems, you don't know. We really will make that determination at the end of fall camp. And, you know, I would expect a handful of them to play. I really would.
How many, these 29 added to what you have, aren't ball players, or how many do you have?
Yeah, right now we're sitting about the 90 range, and we'll be in 100 to 105. So we'll still add 10 to 15 players to our roster, you know, as we go through. You know, the signing period's still going for a little while, but we're right about 90 with this class that we've signed, and you'll see another 10 to 12 or 15 still join us.
It also appears that you went hard for size in the offense.
Yeah, you know, that's Division II football, and you know, one thing at the Division II level, you've got to develop these young men. So we're trying to get longer, bigger bodies that we can develop into Division II players down the road. Great. Well, I appreciate everybody coming out. A couple other things we have going at 5:30. We'll have a signing day party to celebrate this signing class down at Polly's over here on St. Patrick. Also, our spring schedule, our spring practice starts March 22nd with our alumni game on April 20th, and I'll post that spring schedule up here on the website soon. The other thing is we'll also have a free youth camp on the morning of August 6th. Same youth camp we ran last year. That will be posted. We'll make sure we do a press release. But those are some exciting things that we have going on in the spring. I appreciate everybody coming out this afternoon.